So, video one, part one of explaining my geometry STEM unit. So my geometry STEM unit is catered towards second grade. Each day, you will need 30 to 45 minutes for it to allow the students to plan, design, and present their objective of the day. I recommend doing this unit in groups of 3 and 4 students just to help the students to be able to collaborate and practice using those 21st century skills in teamwork and communicating and really be able to collaborate with other people to create a design. So the main standards that are focused on in this STEM unit is students being able to recognize and draw shapes having specific attributes. Then with those shapes, they will be able to um, create rows and columns to find the total number of squares and rectangles. Students will be able to make halves, fourths, thirds of circles and rectangles, and then be able to describe them as half of, a third of, a fourth of, etc., etc. Students will also be able to recognize that equal shares of identical wholes don't necessarily have to be the same shape. For the science portion of this unit, students will analyze data that are obtained from multiple different test results to determine what properties are needed to be best suited for an intended purpose, along with making observations and constructing an evidence-based account on how an object can be made out of lots of small pieces to create one large piece. Students will also investigate and plan how to determine if plants need sunlight and water to grow. Students will also be practicing engineering and technology skills when asking questions and making observations, gathering information on how to improve a situation or to solve a simple problem. Students will also practice making a sketch and creating a model to help display a function or solve a problem, along with analyzing data of strengths and weaknesses of different plans and designs. You can also incorporate writing and reading into this unit. So day one of this unit, you're going to explain the big idea. So after reading WALL-E, how is it important to take care of our Earth? Throughout the week, we're going to explore a different avenue of how to move life on Earth to a spaceship. And then your group will design a ship that can hold passengers, a crew, along with plants and animals to the next planet. So we know that the ship will have to be big and divided into areas that will have to be designated and designed to meet the needs of all the living things on board. The real world scenario is that you've been chosen as the architect to create a ship that can house a crew, passenger, plants, and animals to be taken from Earth and start a new life on a planet before Earth gets taken over by population. Your first task is to create a layout or a blueprint that can be multi-level, but each level has to be designed to house the crew, the passengers, the animals, the plants. And with the use of manipulatives for your first task, you'll have to create and design and draw the blueprint. So students have to use triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, hexagons, and cubes, and each area has to be one shape, or it can be multiple of one specific shape. The essential question for day one is how can different shapes be used to create a layout of a shape in order to allow for there to be enough space for people, plants, and animals to all have their own designated area. For your lower students, you can create a blank ship and give them shape manipulatives where they can then manipulate the shapes and visualize before they plan on paper their design. For your proficient learners and for your advanced learners, you can challenge them to use 4 or 5 different shapes when they're designing. The materials you'll need are pencil, graph paper, color paper, shape manipulatives, a ruler, and a student sheet. Some examples of what their shapes might look like are on the first page on the left, in which people can see different designs that students have made.